Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Scott Herman, and we're here again, once again today, courtesy of AutoShepherd.com. We're going to be fixing this 2001 Nissan Maxima GLE. It's having some serious issues with the pressure in the radiator system. I hope I know what's going on. There's a couple different things that could have been happening. My dad seems to think that it could have been a problem with the head gasket. I don't think so. I'm a little more optimistic, and I'm going right to the thermostat. And so if you guys can look over here, there's antifreeze everywhere. It's all over the hoses, all over the front of the engine. It's splattered all over the battery over here. And from what I can see, if you guys come over here, most of the issue seems to be coming out of the hose right here. And so in my 84 Camaro, I used to have this problem where my thermostat wasn't opening. The thermostat's going to regulate the antifreeze going into the engine. If the thermostat doesn't open, then there's pressure in the hose. It's going to have to find somewhere to explode out of, and this car happens to be over here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to change the thermostat. So get an OEM part from Auto Shepherd. Thanks for sending the part, guys. If you guys need performance parts or OEM parts, there's a link in the info section below. You guys check out AutoShepherd.com. So here's the thermostat. I actually like this one better for a couple different reasons. One, it's connected to the tubing right here. Thermostat in my car was just the actual thermostat right there, and it was a pain in the butt to get in. And also we have the gasket right here, just a little bit of a sticky side in the back, so I can put this on, not have to worry about it fooling around or messing around on me, going everywhere all over the car. Now, so this actually goes on the side over here. And so I have a couple concerns. The alternator is right underneath this hose, so I don't want to pull this hose off. Regardless, antifreeze is going to come out. Most of the antifreeze is going to sit in the radiator, but I don't want it to go all over the alternator and risk ruining that as well. So I'm going to cover that with a plastic bag just in case, and then try to catch as much antifreeze as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and prep that, and I'll be back with you guys as soon as we're ready to put this thing in. And I'll let you guys know what size bolts and everything else we're going to be using as well. What size ratchet you might need, okay? So see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so we prepped the thermostat, put the gasket on the outside just like this, and it sticks on there. As I said, it has a sticky side to it. You're going to be using a 10mm socket to get these bolts out. There's 3 bolts. It's going to sit like this inside of the car, and so it's going to be hard to get to that bottom bolt. As you can see, there's not a lot of room there. If I can barely get to it here in the car with the hoses and everything else, obviously it's not going to be as easy as well. That's how they make cars. Fun to work on. But if you guys come over here, I got a plastic bag. Make sure your car is not hot at all. First of all, when you work on anything to do with anything around the engine, you want the car to be cold because you don't want to burn yourself. But if you're going to use a plastic bag and the car is still warm, you don't want to melt the plastic bag. That can be counterproductive, right? So the bag's over here. First I'm going to remove this clamp. Oh yeah. Look at it. It's still brand new under the clamp right there. See the difference in color? Alright, so the clamp's off. There's gonna, like I said, there's gonna be radiator, there's gonna be antifreeze in this hose regardless. So that's why you want to be careful. And usually you're just going to wiggle a hose back and forth. If it's been on there for a while, it might be a little stuck. Like this one is. My hand is hitting this thing right here. 1 second. There we go. Get it right out of the way. Alright. There's not a lot of room to get your hand in here. Oh, there we go. Just push the top of it. Oh yeah. Alright, here's the moment of truth. Oh, it's leaking. Wow, not that much. That plastic bag worked like a charm. Alright, so what we're going to do now, just tuck this hose back a little bit, and now we're going to take some time and try and get these 3 bolts out. If I have any sort of issue, or if I find a neat trick to get to them a little easier, I'll let you guys know. If not, I'll just take them off and move to the next step. Alright, so this took me like a half hour, but it's only going to take you guys 5 minutes, because I did the hard work and figured it out. Okay, so as you can see from the side of the car, which is where I normally put all the stuff that I use, I tried all sorts of attachments and swivels and all kinds of stuff to get to these bolts, but they were a pain in the butt. You're gonna need a 10mm socket, and what I was doing was I was using this ratchet, and as you can see, it's a pretty thick ratchet. I could not get the top left bolt over here because of the tension arm that's on the pulley right here is in the way. You just can't get in there, okay? So I managed to find a thinner ratchet, and it worked like a charm. I had plenty of room to get in there. So if you guys are doing this job, I want you to try and get a thinner ratchet, okay? Get a thinner ratchet, get right in there, get the bolts off. Make sure your plastic bag is still in space. Yeah, it's still in space, still in place. And I took the bolts off already, so we're gonna pop this guy out. Oh yeah. Look at that. This wasn't even attached to it. So this is your old thermostat. I mean, I'm not gonna like try and pretend I know what to look for as to if it's bad or not, but it looks like junk, so maybe it is dirty and stuff. So we're gonna hope this is the problem. So now we're gonna do the new thermostat. We're gonna put it in place, tighten up the bolts. We'll be back with you guys in a bit. Alright, so before I put the thermostat in, I wanted to put some silicone gasket sealer on there, so it give a little bit of a tighter fit once it's in, a little bit of a tighter seal. So I already put it on, and you guys want to make sure when you put this stuff on, you don't leave any holes or any gaps, and make sure you go around the holes where the bolts go in, okay? So now all I'm going to do is get this thing in here. I removed my bag as well to get that out of the way. And I'm going to put this in. And now that that's in place, I'm going to put the bolts in, put it all back together, and see you guys shortly. Alright guys, so I have the thermostat in, the bolts are tight, not too tight. You want to make them nice and snug, but you don't want to risk snapping these bolts. They go right into the engine. If you snap that bolt, it's going to be really hard to fix it, okay? Also too, you don't want to go so tight that you ruin the gasket. So, thermostat's in. Now I'm going to take the hose, and we're going to push it back on. Let's see. Make sure it's going on the bottom. There we go. Best way to get it on is to wiggle, twist, push all at the same time. And it's going to snug right up to this part right here. Once that's on, your pliers and move that clamp right back up. Come on. There we go. Good. It's right back where it was sitting before. And that's it. We're done. Thermostat is in. Actually, let me just make a little more adjustment before my OCD kicks in. There we go. Alright. Now, we did notice that the antifreeze was shooting out of the hose over here. So just as a precautionary thing, what we're going to do is remove this. It's an air duct. Come on over here to this side. We want to make sure this doesn't happen again. So you're going to take this off, unclip this connection right here, then you kind of just pull this forward. There's two screws in the front. We already took those off. Careful you don't break anything. There we go. What we're going to do is, let's see my bag. Case. Try and catch some antifreeze if it's going to pour out of here. And take this clamp off of this hose. We're going to replace it with this hose clamp to get nice and tight. Just to make sure if this is the actual weak connection. Obviously, if the antifreeze is shooting out of here, it's the weakest part of the hose or the weakest part of the system. All right, we're good. So I'm going to slide that off. Get our hose clamp ready. Slide this on right here. Then once it's on, I'm gonna get myself a flathead screwdriver. Get this thing nice and tight. And make sure when you put it on, you actually put it over the hose where it touches the radiator, or else it ain't gonna do nothing. You guys can get hose clamps. I mean, they're cheap. Go right to AutoZone or get them online. All right, this is a big one. So once this is tightened down, we're gonna now get some antifreeze. We're gonna fill the radiator back up, and then we're also gonna fill up the reservoir right here, and we're all set. So if you're working on your Nissan Maxima, now you know how to change a thermostat. I can't even say the word correctly right now. It's a little cold outside. That's how you change the thermostat. Hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration instructional video. And as always, more good stuff coming soon, guys. See ya.